Hello, this is Gary Wishon. The disgruntled heathen was the mighty Droog Dog. Some people would say this setting is bad because of darkness. I say, considering the subject matter of this video, it's completely appropriate. A while back I did a video about George Pell. He was an archbishop out of Australia. When he was caught up in some sexual scandals involving children, he made a beeline to the Vatican, was promoted to full cardinal, and protected until he finally went back to Australia, where he wrung his hands and said, yes, bad things occurred, and where you feel terrible. But in the end, nothing really happened. Nothing ever really happens. And when something does, it's marginal at best. Maybe a priest might be thrown into jail over the strenuous objections of the Catholic Church, in spite of the Catholic Church. And each and every time when they do talk about this, oh, the bad actor has been found out, the scoundrel has been revealed, and this will never happen again. Skip ahead to, well, now, Pennsylvania. 300 pedophile priests has racked up over 1,000 sexual molestations. I think that's a low number. Time and time again, they've protected the priests. Pretty much puts them in a timeout somewhere for prayer and reflection, and then they say, oh, he prayed. He's a good boy now. Put him out there with the kids. This obscenity is somehow, in people's minds, mitigated because it involves the notion of God. God's work. People doing God's will. Somehow, we're supposed to overlook or just feel bad and then move on and then try to forget. Meanwhile, the victims never can. And it just continues. How can anybody still defend this? I lack the words to appropriately express myself on this opinion, on this matter. The emotions. It's all too real. The Catholic Church, when it finds itself in a corner, and it often does, they like to try to mitigate the situation by saying, hey, we do a lot of charity work. Look at all the great charity work we're doing. They try to kind of omit the fact that all the money's coming out of their parishioners' pocket. So it's not really coming out of the church's pocket. It's coming out of their parishioners' pocket. They're just like a go-between. I say, what is being done? The church loses nothing because it never generated anything. And if it can be called anything, it's reparations. Insufficient, laughable reparations. A reparation is when you commit a crime. You make some restitution towards your victims. Like what Germany had to do after World War II. They had to pay for what they did. This is insufficient on the Catholic Church part because they never stop. How can they pretend? Since its conception, this has been going on, and this is always the first time for them the way they act. They act like, oh, it's this happened again? Well, this time for sure. We're going to do something. They talk about talking about doing something, and in the end, it never happens, and in the end, some other part of the world, this is worldwide, children are molested. Again. And I like to point out, it doesn't just happen in the Catholic Church. But they are if this is a field someone can be a leader in, they most certainly are that. My bitterness, my anger, my rage over this subject, I really think the reason why they object to abortions is because that's one kid they can't get their hands on. Was there silence? Was there enabling these priests? They hide them whenever possible. They don't bring this out into the light. They don't do anything. And when something does come out, despite their best efforts, they have abdicated any right to say they are moral. That has been abandoned. If anyone wants to still be a Catholic after this, okay, great, be a Catholic, be a Catholic. Be a mindful one. Bear in mind, yes, you might have a lovely, wonderful pastor and priest. You might have somebody who you consider to be saintly. Be mindful that he might not be. And stop trusting your children around them. That's all I have to say. Unfortunately, till next time, goodbye.